Hemp House, 4 locations to serve you or online at hemphousechat.com.
We're all watching as this cold weather moves our way, especially into early next week. Hopefully at your house, your heating is working just fine. You'll be nice and toasty, but you have to stop and think about those who are not so fortunate to have a warm place to go. Jon Rector is here with the Union Gospel Mission, and he's here to kind of give us a little bit of a call to action. I think that's fair to say. Good
Absolutely.
to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us.
I mean, you know, the rest of us are probably going to be sitting at home with the fire going and very comfortable. You're probably going to be out finding ways you can help people who aren't so lucky.
Hopefully not during the event, but before the event. But if it's necessary, we'll be out doing whatever we can do.
Yeah. So at the Union Gospel Mission, Jon, I mean, when I talk to you, I think so often about the food drives that you have and the Thanksgiving dinners that you provide.
Yes.
But the truth is you're both kind of reaching people where they are and also providing housing for men in the area who have no place to call home.
Absolutely. We have transitioned a lot over the last almost 25 years that I've been there. And so that's what we try to do now is we try to reach out to those still in the community who may be living in camps or on the street or, in emergency shelters and provide what we can for them, as well as providing them an opportunity out of that situation through our residential programs.
Let's talk about that part of it for just a minute,
Sure.
The residential program, because you've got a campaign going on.
We do. 8 more beds, 8 more lives. We've officially got our building permit. We're waiting for the ground to officially turn. But we're excited about adding 8 more beds to our residential programs, which is huge for us because that's a 75% increase in bed space.
Wow.
And so we're asking folks to help buy the foot, B-U-Y the foot. So for $250, you can provide 1 square foot of this new facility.
Right.
And so we're just asking folks to help us. We've raised over $175,000. We've got almost $125,000 to go. And if folks would like to help, we'd love for them to pitch in and make this a reality.
Do they do that by going on the website? How
That's
do they
the
make that
easiest way.
donation?
They can, all of our contact information is on there. If they'd prefer to send a check, they can send it to the P.O. box, which is on the website. But yeah, there's giving opportunities right there. There's a button right at the top of the website that says 8 more lives, and so they can give there to help with that.
Okay, talk to me a little bit because you walk a path in life that most of us don't walk. So I mean, I don't pretend to know much about the homeless community here in town. I don't, but I pass them.
Yes.
I will have occasion in my car where I'll roll the window down and give some money to somebody.
Sure.
Sometimes I won't. It just sort of depends on
Right.
the day. It does seem like there are areas of town where they're becoming more and more noticeable.
Absolutely.
Are most of them, Jon, local people?
Most of them are. And they struggle with issues from substance abuse, alcoholism, mental health. A lot of times it's just a life of bad decisions. And so, the Union Gospel Mission and a lot of other agencies in town, we've got a wealth of good organizations that try to reach out and help folks. And we try to collaborate with them as much as we can. But the thing to remember is the homeless population is just a subsection of normal population. There's older people and younger people and men and women and people that deal with the same issues and have the same beliefs as we do. There's really nothing special about them other than the fact that at this current time, they don't have a place to live.
Well, it's also when you say that most of them have just lived a life of bad decisions, haven't we all?
Yes,
had
we have.
times where we've made some bad decisions. So you don't want to be too quick to say, well, it's their fault.
Right.
Is that?
No, absolutely. The old saying is, but by the grace of God, there go I, right?
Yeah.
Most of us are a couple of weeks away from being homeless. If you lose your job and you don't have the ability to provide that income. And so, yeah, you got to be, and I'm going to tell you, 25 years ago when I started doing this, I was not that way. I was extremely judgmental. Until I got to know the folks and learn and hear their stories and understand that, yeah, they've made bad decisions, but I wasn't far away from that at one point in my own life.
One of the most tender experiences I've had on 3+U, I think that we've been doing this show now for the better part of 16 years. And there was a time once where some people came on, they had this nonprofit in town that gave bicycles.
Yes.
Remember who I'm talking about? To
Yes.
homeless? And she brought a couple on, a husband and a wife, and medical issues
Yes.
is what medical bills had cost them their life. And they sat here and they talked to us on the air that day, and they held hands together. They were the sweetest couple.
Absolutely.
And we had a restaurant in the studio that day, and they stayed and had lunch with us. But they became like friends.
Right.
And yet life had just presented them a different path.
Yeah, and we've seen that from unexpected job loss. I mean, COVID did that to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the homeless rate jumped during COVID. But for years, you've got a guy, maybe he may have not done anything wrong, but he ended up getting a divorce, and the wife gets the house, and now he's paying for alimony, and he can't afford his own place. Well, I've seen many of those guys come through our shelter over the years.
Well, and to make it clear, I don't think either one of us is sitting here saying that because life throws you a bad turn, that gives you a pass.
No, absolutely
so
not.
So at the Union Gospel Mission, when you are looking to have this expansion,
yes,
you're selective about
absolutely
who comes in to have one of those beds,
right?
So you're looking for people who are looking to get their life back.
Yeah, people who want change, not just shelter.
Yeah.
Now, eventually we'd love to get back into the emergency shelter business, but right now, currently we've got 12 beds. And we'll get 2 or 3 calls a day or emails, people looking for a place to go, and we're almost always full. And so we try to, and sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to end up with, but we try to be as judicious as we can in how we give those beds out.
Well, when you've made that decision that you want to change, you've got to have somebody who helps you
yes, ma'am,
to see it happen. So if you, I guess if you do see somebody out in these cold weather days and they look like they're struggling, is it a good idea you have a cup of coffee in your hand, buy them a cup of coffee?
Sure. I always recommend that you give them something instead of cash. Now, if you want to give them cash, that's, again, that's been a huge change in my own personal journey.
Yeah.
When I first started, I said, don't ever give cash. Who am I to tell you what to do with your cash?
I went home once and made a peanut butter sandwich and brought it back. UnionGospelMission.org is their website if you want to be part of the By the Foot to see them expand.
Yes,
Great
ma'am.
to see you, Jon.
Thank you.
Our whole job
is to give you